show you how to create a book template in Affinity Publisher. I'm just getting it started. This is Publisher version 1.9.1. It's the very latest one as of Sunday the 28th of February 2021. Alright, so let's get started very quickly. Go to New. Notice I've got a bunch of templates I've made myself, but I won't go there. The size book I'm going to be creating is going to be an A5 size book. You'll notice our settings. It'll be portrait orientation. We want one page. We have the default master that's added. Facing pages, we want that. We want CMYK. Our margins, all right, we're going to include margins. Just to quickly get everything together, we're going to link them all up. Double click on the number, the first number, just put in the 18, and that'll be for all the margins. Then we unlink them, go to the inner margin and double click on the number and make that, from what I do, is 23. Your inner margin's always bigger, so that'll be like that. That's all good. 23 inner margin, all the others can be the same. Your bleed, double click on the number section and say 3 millimeters. Click on one of the others blank areas and it updates all the bleed settings to 3 millimeters. Alright, so let's create. Alright, there we go. Now we're creating our master page. Now you'll notice on the right hand side I have text styles already selected from my previous work that I've done. So we don't want all these styles, all these different styles in here. We don't want them. So what we're going to do is we're going to detach and delete all the styles. Notice there are no styles now. Alright, so now we're going to go to our master page A, and we're going to set that up with running headers across there and the page numbers at the bottom. Alright, what's quite helpful, I just drag out some guides to line up with the margins on both sides, on both pages. Drag a guide from the top down, that's where the running header will start, and drag one down at the bottom. It'll be about there. Alright, now we get our text frame tool and you drag out a text frame at the top. Okay, that should be about right. Let's see our size, that's fine. And double click in it. Go to center align to align the cursor in the middle. Go to the vertical align and align it centered vertically, so it'll be right in the dead center. Alright, so on the left we usually have our book title. Now you see it's got Arial font. I don't like Arial. I like Adobe Caslon Pro, so we just select that. It'll be regular, or actually we should make it semi-bold, or actually semi-bold italic might, semi-bold italic, let's do that. Alright, and it'll be 12, and yeah, semi-bold italic 12. Alright, so we type in there book title, whatever the title of your book is, that'll go over there on the left. Alright, now hold down, select the text frame, hold down the Alt key on a Mac. I think it's probably the same for Windows. Let it go. It'll drag out a duplicate. Select book title and take it just to semi-bold. Everything else will be the same, and leave it selected. Go up to text and go down to insert field section name. Section name goes in there. It'll have all the same settings and it'll be fine. That's when you set up your sections. You'll see just now that your chapter headings will appear at the top on the right hand side. All right, now we go down to the bottom of the left side, drag out a text frame about there, double click in it using the last settings. Adobe Cason Pro semi-bold italic. I think that's quite nice. Just leave it exactly as it is. You'll notice vertical alignment is center and everything else is the same. Just leave it as is. Sorry, go up to text and then insert field page number. There we go. Page number at the bottom in the center. You can do some other fancy things and put your page number up at the top if you like. It's up to you, but I like them at the bottom. And then you hold down the Alt key, make sure it's selected, the text frame, Alt key, then drag across and it duplicates it. Let the Alt key go and drop your text frame across. Now we have our master page A already set up. Let's go and create another master page and you'll see what I mean. There we go, add a master and it's master B. It's facing pages. Everything is the same. There we go, it's master B. We're working on master B now. Get your, just get this and drag it down. Your first line, drag it to about over there. Say, you know, if you want to be really precise, to 59, doesn't matter. There we go, first one. Second one will be around 82 millimeters down the page. I think that's fine. All right, you'll see just now in a moment. All right, so that's fine. And just leave it like that. There's going to be no page numbers on here, none whatsoever on this. No page numbers. And then we're going to create one more master page. We add it and it's called Master C. Click OK, and Master C can be totally blank, completely blank. At this point, let's save our project. Save as. You can choose, just make a folder actually on your desktop, select desktop. This is all on a Mac, by the way, and I think it works the same on a Windows PC as well. So we're on desktop. Let's see, have we created a, on the desktop, let's create a folder. Let's call it templates. Publisher. Affinity Publisher templates. This is just a temporary folder just to store it in for now. So you just create that on your desktop and then you say the title of this will be A5 book inner. It's the inner part of the book. A5 book inner. Yeah, just leave it like that. A5 book inner. And you save your document. All right, there you go. There's a name, A5 book inner. All right, now we go down to our pages. Notice that our master for page 1 is the A master. We can see because we created this text box in the A master. The B doesn't have text box at the top, and so that's how things are. All right, that's good. I wonder what that object is. It says there's an object there. All right, that's fine. Now we're going to set up some styles. Notice we have our style palette open, and now we're going to get a text frame, and we're going to drag out a text frame. on the top. Notice our cursor is blinking in the middle. Go to vertical cursors and take it up to the top. Also, set our font also to regular and take it back. Actually, you can keep it in the middle. And so we're going to set up a heading. Now we're going to say book title. Book title. That's our first one. Second one will be chapter number. Actually, the number should be say let's say chapter number. Okay, keep it as that, chapter number. Third one will be this is a heading. All right, actually, let's just go back and rename it. This is heading 1. Next one, this is heading 2. This one, I don't know how many headings. This is heading 3. All right, so we have book title, chapter heading. This is heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, and right, that's all good. And let's insert filler text. I know that doesn't look so good, but let's go and justify it. Right, so there we go. Let's make this little, let's make that paragraph longer. That's all good. That's fine. Right, now we're going to go up to the top one, select it, book title, choose a size. An appropriate size for a book title would be, let's say, 20 points, and it would be bold. See there? We also want a space after the book title. Let's come over here to paragraphs, and let's find a space. There's already a space of 12 points, but let's make it 18 points. That'll be our space after a book title. There we go. All right, so we're all fine. When no tab stops, it's not justified. There's no bullets or numbering, no hyphenation or anything in a book title. All right, so what we will do is we will go back up to our text styles, and down the bottom here we're creating a paragraph style again, or not again, but for the first time. There it is. We're going to call it book, title. There we go, book title. It's based on no style, everything is set up, and because book title is selected. Good. Now we go to chapter number, and we are going to be choosing, for our chapter number, we're going to choose 16 points. We can also make that semi-bold italic. It's not bad. Semi-bold italic. All right, it's centered. It's top aligned. It's all good. Now we go to our paragraph again. A paragraph menu on the right, paragraph tab on the right hand side. We are going to say we want maybe 15, maybe 16 points after chapter number. That's what we want. That's for our spacing. That's all good. We don't want anything else. We just want that as is. Go to text styles, create a new text style, meaning a new paragraph style, and call it chapter number. All right, here we go. Very important that you set this up. Click OK. So it's selected, so it's all good. So we have two text styles that we've made. Now we're going heading 1. We want a heading. We're going to select 18 for a heading. Adobe Caslon Pro. It's going to be bold this time. Then it's going to be, let's see, we're going to do some nice little thingies here. Let's go to character, the character tab, and let's say we want, we want to select small caps. There we go. You can do whatever you like there, but small caps. That's what we'll have for, that's what we'll do for the heading. All right, that's all good. All the spacing, let's have a look at our spacing. Let's go to paragraph, that's where we do the spacing. And we want between the heading and paragraphs, we want, let's say 15 points. That's not bad. Okay, rightio. So there we go. 15 points. Go text styles, create another paragraph style. We're going to call it heading 1, H-E-A, heading 1. Here it is. Righty, it's going to do heading 2. We're also going to make it, or we'll make it semi-bold. We will make it, we can do 15. And yeah, 15 can be the size. That's pretty good. Heading 2 is there. All the spacing's fine. Let's go paragraphs. We're going to want, let's make it 12 points. Okay, so space before, you're going to do the equals, the same thing, select 12 points. Because usually heading 2 is normally in between paragraphs, and we want a nice little space between it so it doesn't mess with anything else, and we want it separate and nice and clean. All right, there we go. That's fine, 12 points. Nothing else needs to change. Let's go down to our text styles and create a new paragraph style, and we call that, see there, it's got the name there already. We call it heading 2. It's not based on heading 1. Well, it wants to base it on heading 1, but anyway. Okay, just leave it as it is. And let's click OK. All right, select heading 3. This one we're going to make also bold. Might be nice to do semi-bold. We're going to make it size 14. There we go, semi-bold, 14, leave as is. And paragraph, let's go and look at our, all right, let's do 10 points, 10 points. That's the spacing between, space above, space underneath, space after. All right, we go back to text styles and we create a new text style. It's heading 3 and we release it. Okay, now let's do the first paragraph. Oh, let's select it properly here. There we go. All good. Adobe Caslon Pro, 12 points. It's going to be justified left. That's all good. Let's go to the paragraph again. We don't want that 12 points there. We want it out. Right, we don't want any space between paragraphs. We want something else. Spacing. So what we're going to do is we're going to go with first line indent. Let's create a first line indent and make it 8 millimeters. First line, no, actually we're not going to do a first line indent. Leave it out, sorry about that. Let's go down to drop caps. We're going to enable a drop cap. It'll be 3 lines, it'll span across 3 lines. It'll be 1 character, and the distance to the text can be 1 millimeter. There you go. Right, let's do that. Go to our text style, create a new paragraph, and call it first paragraph drop cap. There we go. It's all good. And there we go. It's all selected. This will be a normal paragraph now. We're going to, there it is. It's still Adobe Cason Pro regular. It's justified left. The paragraph, still we don't want any spaces after or before, but we want the first line indent right there. So we're going to make it 8. There we go. 8 millimeters first line indent. All right, there we go. And there it is. All right, so we go back up to text styles, create another style, and let's call it normal paragraph first line indent. There you go. Oh, put a D in there. First line, normal paragraph first line indent. There it is. Click OK. Right, there we go. You might also want to, I dropped my microphone. It just detached itself anyway. Just put it back. Okay, now you might have a quote. Let's just select everything, delete it all, go to no style, and let's put another little bit of text in. Insert filler text. See, I ran out of filler text. I'm going to, I think I'll just have 2 paragraphs of filler text. This is going to be for a quote. You know, sometimes in books people have quotes, and we're sticking with Adobe Cason Pro. We're going to make it italic. It's going to be 12. This time it's going to be justified. Yep, and that's all good. 14.4 points is our line spacing, or our leading. It's called leading. Go to paragraph. Now we are going to make a left indent. Just there we go, to 6. We are not going with the first line indent. No, hang on a second. What's going on here? I don't know why it's doing that. Anyway, we don't want, actually we want a little space in between. We want a small space in between the paragraphs. If you have a quote and there's different paragraphs in the quote, that's what you want. Now we're going with a right indent, also of 6. Oh, there we go. All right, and there we go. That's our quote. 4 points in between, and we are fine. And let's go to our text styles and create another text style and call it quote. Just a quote, and say OK. All right. Now we just delete all the text, go to no style, click on no style, and now we're going to import. We're going to import some text, or we don't have to import any text. So let's say this will be, let's make it chapter 1. Okie dokie, chapter 1. Underneath that, let's give it a little heading and call it "We Are Here Now." Just a fictitious little chapter heading. Let's insert once again some filler text. There it is. That's good. And there we go. Now we're going to create a couple more pages. Let's make 5 more pages just to make it look like a book. And we're going to add some more text. Let's put a little full stop there. Go like that. And you know, I just hit enter there, and let's insert more filler text. Now you'll notice our little indicator for text flow has changed. It's become red. Select the arrow, hold down the shift key, and it will add some more. You click on that little arrow, hold down the shift key, and it just puts it into the next frame. Let's add a little bit more text. Let's add some more filler text. Insert filler text. Do some more. Here it is again. Flow it across. Insert some more. Some more text. That's good. And insert some more filler text. Flow it across by holding down shift. Click on that little triangle. There it goes. Let's flow some more text in here to the bottom of the page, and then we can stop. Filler text. There it is. Okay, that's the end of our. So our first little chapter has got a couple of pages, and that's fine. Let's remove some of the text. We don't need any more than that. That's fine, and you'll see why. Okay, here's our chapter 1. What I'd like you to do is select all your text. There we go. Selected all the text by holding down Command and A. I think on a PC it's Control and A. Selected all the text. And now we're going to Command C, which is copy. Then we're going to deselect all the text. And then we're coming down over here to the right hand side. We're going to draw out a text frame again, one little text frame. Oops, there it goes. On the right hand side, there on that page. And what we're going to do is we are going to say no style. That's a bit strange why it's doing that. No style. All right. And we're going to copy, and we're going to Command and V and paste that text there, and we're going to say it's chapter 2. See here, hold down the little hold down your shift key, click on the little triangle, and it will add some more pages automatically. There we go. So this is our next little chapter, chapter 2. Alrighty, that's all good. Let's create another page. Let's drag out a text box. Let's paste again. You'll notice what we're doing. We're creating chapters. Hold down Shift, click on the triangle, and it'll add more pages automatically, and it will add in text everywhere. That's what it'll do. Oh, looks like our text boxes are a bit too small. Don't know why. It's gone and done that. Just drag them down, make them a little bit bigger. This is what happens when it's, I don't know why it did that, but you want to have it the right size. And that's good. I think that's fine. There we go. That's perfect. Chapter 1. It's made it chapter 1. So we have chapter 2. We have chapter 3. Oh, that'll be chapter 4. All right, let's do one more chapter so that it looks a bit like a book. Just add another page. All right, then drag out a text frame on that page. All right, let's add a bit more text. Let's copy and paste again. We're just adding a little bit more texture. And alrighty, we are going to, what was that? No, okay, let's just undo that. We just want to add a little bit more text in there, and that'll be that. All right. We're just deleting. I want to show you why I'm doing this. I'm deleting all this text because I want to show you when a book ends, where your text ends there, you need to have a blank page on the left hand side. So let's create 2 more pages. Here they are. There we go. And that one is usually empty. It's got nothing in it. And this is where our next chapter. Why don't we create another chapter? Let's go Command V again. So now we've got quite a few chapters. Let's drag up to the top and go and confirm how many chapters we've got. We have chapter 1. We have chapter 2. Oh, this is chapter 4. So we're going chapter 3. And chapter 4. All right, chapter 4. It says chapter 14 actually, so we're going to take that out. Chapter 4. All right, so we can flow this text down again. And that'll just give us more pages. That's all good. Yeah, that's fine. Now, what we're going to do, remember we're setting up a template to make it look like a real book. All right, now we're going to set up our pages again, and now we're going to apply our text styles and all that kind of thing. All right, we are going to chapter 1, the first page of chapter 1. On the left hand side here, you're going to click on the page, you're going to right click, and you're going to apply the master page B. You're applying master page B to that page. Say, sure. Now your master page changes. And there we go. And now we're going to drag our text frame down to there. That's how we're going to do it. We're going to set up chapter 1 with chapter number style. We're going to apply our heading 1 to that, and our first paragraph we're going to apply our drop cap. How's that? It's looking better, isn't it? Then we're going to select all the rest of the text all the way down to there, and we are going to apply the normal paragraph first line indent. There you go. How does that look? Hope you're keeping up. All right, there we go. Just so you can see it better, I've just resized the page and it's looking like a book. All right, notice we have our page numbers are down at the bottom. Chapter 1 starts where it is. You can come up here to this little toggle preview mode, switch it off, deselect everything and have a look at it. It looks like a book. Looks like the inner part of a book. There you go. Remember, this is just a template. All right, select your toggle preview mode again. Go down to chapter 2, select that as well. And chapter 2 is going to be chapter number. It just changes to there we are. Make that heading 1. Our first paragraph will be drop cap again. You know, first paragraph drop cap. All right, let's go and select all the text for that chapter by clicking on, you select, put your cursor in there, let it be blinking over there in that section. It must be selected there. Scroll down, hold down shift and put your cursor at the end just after full stop. Select, it means you've selected all the paragraphs, and you're going to the normal paragraph first line indent, and look what it does. It's doing it again. It sorted it out for us. Oh yes, now we're going to go to page 2, or sorry, chapter 2, page 5, and we're going to apply our master B. Master B. There we go. So okay, here it is, and we're going to drag that down to there. You're probably wondering what that line is for. You'll see in a moment. All right, so we have our chapter 2 dragged out. Let's go down to chapter 3. Let's do exactly the same thing. So select chapter 3, apply chapter number, apply heading 1 to our heading. Say we were there. All right, that's good. And drop cap for the first one. All right, now we're going to select all the rest of the text in the chapter. Seems to be quite a long chapter, this one. Let's just have a look at the slot. Oh, there we go. And now we are going to select the rest. Normal paragraph. Oops. There's a space there, so we're just going to take the space away. Okay. There we go. All right. There we go. There's our next chapter. It's chapter 3. And we'll go to our last chapter as well. Notice there's this blank page. We're going to sort this all out in a moment. Go to chapter 4. We make it chapter number. We will get there. All right. That's the heading. Heading 1. Now you're probably saying we are heading 2 and 3 and all that. We're going to create one, and we will, actually let's just do that. Let's just say this is heading 2. Still in heading 1, so let's make it heading 2. And there we go, drop cap, apply that, that's all good. Now we can go down over here. Oh, actually, let's just, okay, put the cursor in there, select all the text, shift, click, and normal paragraph. Boom. So there we go, all done. We want to put a quote down over here. Oh, it's gone. I don't know. Let's just have a look. I'm going to stick a quote in there. Let's say this is a quote someone wrote. Okay, that's going to be heading 3. Oh, actually, hang on a second. I selected that by mistake. We're going to go heading 3. Here we go. And we're going to make a little quote. Let's insert. We can insert some more text. For the text. Okie dokie. And what we can do is we can just remove some of this. So that's all fine. All right. See, let's put quite a big quote in here. Let's go down to there and let's make this a quote. Here it is. After our quote, we're going to select the rest of the text and we're going to make it normal text again. Here it is. And then we're going to remove these gaps. Let's just remove them. Backspace. All right, there we go. So there it is. Here's our quote. That's all good. Command 0 just brings it down to a normal size. Okay, and now we go up. All right. There we have chapter 1. You'll notice, let's just make it a little smaller there. There we go. Drag it across. Chapter 1. Chapter 2. Oh, here we go. Now we have to go to chapter 3. And we apply our master B. Remember master B? Apply it there. Select your arrow tool and drag it down. That's all good. Chapter 3. We come to chapter 4. We don't want anything on the left page at all. So click on your page 15 down here on the left. Grab master C, drag it and drop it on top of them. Boom, look what happens. That disappears because it's a blank, it's just a blank page. That's what we want. For chapter 4, just before the beginning of chapter 4. That's how you want things. And our page numbering continues. We don't want a page number on at the beginning of our chapters. So we are going again to page 15, which is the beginning of chapter 4. We right click, apply the master B again. Remember, master B doesn't have a page number. There it goes. Drag your text frame down, and there we go. So our book is looking good. This is our template. It's our book template. All right, remember what I said about this little line here. Now, let's go up to master B. There it is, that line. What we're going to do is we're going to, you can grab your text frame again, and you're going to drag it across there like that. You can resize it as well. We're going to go over to, let's have a look here, our glyph browser. We're going to browse glyphs. It's called a glyph. Down at the bottom it says glyph browser. Click on it, drag down through the text, and until you find these creative ones down here. You might like one of them. You don't have to use this, you don't have to do this, but it's a nice little touch. Maybe double click on it. There we go. You can also make it a bit bigger. There's a little emblem down there. Let's resize it. 64. Stick it in the middle. Maybe it's too big. Perhaps you can come down to 36. Here we go. You can resize it. Bring it down to there. All right, there we go. That's a little decoration that we call a glyph. If you want something else, you can look through your glyphs and you can find some things that might suit you. What I've done before, I've used something like this and like that. And what you can do, you can put that little thingy in the middle if you like. Make a little decoration of some sort. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, gee. All right, let's go back and stick this one in. There we go. Might want to just put a space. I don't know why it's doing that. Anyway, I'm not going to do anything more. It's going to leave it. Actually, I think we should remove the space. There we go. Or put the space in. You know, whenever I do that, it does something weird. Anyway, let's just leave it alone. Now remove the space, and that's fine. Okay, now you'll notice the top of your chapters have all got a neat, nice little decoration. Now you can put anything in there, and if you look up at the top here on the left, you'll notice I have these 3 icons. Now you know what this is all about. This is Studio Link. If you've bought Affinity Photo and Designer, when you're in Publisher, you can link up with Affinity Photo, where you could put in, if you want, instead of using glyphs, you can go to Affinity Photo, and now it switches across. Actually, let's go back and select our, there we go, that's our Master B. I'm not going to remove this, but I'm just going to show you what's possible. When we switch across to Photo, we will be in the photo persona, and we can go and select our brush and go up to brushes. You might find something in brushes that you can add in here. There's all sorts of different things. There's Christmas brushes. Look at these Christmas brushes. I don't know if it's Christmas time and you've got I don't know. No, I suppose the Christmas brushes wouldn't do so well. There's some night shield brushes. Let's have a look at this lot. Some shields here. You might like a shield. There's one. It's a rather big shield. Look at that. You'll have to resize it. Go down to your bracket keys and just resize it. And what's going on here? There we go. It's added a shield in there. Now you can center it again. And what you can do is you can delete that. You can delete this. Go back into the publisher persona, and you could delete this. You could probably delete it now anyway. Yep. And just drag that down to that section. But that's just to show you what's possible if you have the other personas. Anyway, but I'm not going to use the shield today. Just deleting it, and we'll go back to publisher. There we go. double click on our first page, and there we are. You'll notice the top of each chapter, you've got this nice little decoration on the top of each chapter for your book template. There it is. So you've got a book template all set up. The last thing you're going to need to do is to add this as a book template. Oh yes, we need to set up, well, I can do that in the next video, but from this point you're going to need to set up sections. Actually, let's do that very quickly. I think I'm going to have to do that because we haven't completed it yet. We need a running header up at the top here. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to set up our sections. All right, we go to our section manager, open it up. We have section 1, which is from page 1 all the way to the end, but we're not going to do that. We're going to take it, we say section page starts on page 1, and we're going to go to page 4, and then on section 1 is going to be we are here now. That's the heading of section 1. Section 2 is going to be from page 5. You're going to start it on page 5. Notice what I've done. Starting section 2 on page 5, and that is chapter 2. And that is called There We Are. All right. Just type it in. There we are. Okay, and press enter. That's what I do. Then go off to page 9. Click add a section. It starts on page 9. And it's called We Were There. There it is. Type it in. We were there. It's for chapter 3. It's the heading for chapter 3. Press enter. Go down to your next chapter, the start of the next chapter. Double click on it, bring it down. There's another little thing. It starts on page 15. It's an odd number, and it's always on the right hand side. And copy, crumbs, what have I gone and done? Copy, we will get there. Right click, copy, put your cursor in the section name, Command V, and it gets added. All right, so there we go. That's all there. And say close. There it is. Now, when we scroll down, let's just go up all the way up to the top again. Oh, by the way, let's just save our project. File, save. All right. Now you'll notice when we scroll down, we have a running header up at the top. There it is. Book title on the left, chapter heading up there, top of the running header. See book title down there, and chapter 2 is There We Are. There it is. There we are. Next one is called We Were There, and there's our running header. We were there. Got it? And it ends at the end of that page. This is a blank page. Chapter 4 is We Will Get There. There it is. We will get there. So you got it. And this is how you set up a book. I think in the next video I will show you how to import text from a Word document that's already formatted to bring it across intact with formatting, and just to do some minor tweaks to the formatting, and then you'll have a book. Anyway, so there we go. So we have our book set up. What we can do, I'm going to set up some pages before this chapter 1, and let's set up 3 pages. Let's see what happens. All right, so we have 3 pages. And actually, I could have done 2, so I'm going to delete this page. Actually, just 2 pages. There we go. We're going to our top page. We are going to allocate master C to that one. Let's drag it on. Here we go. And we are setting this page up as our table of contents. All right. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to create one more style, and we're going to call it table of contents. This is the style. It goes up in the middle. Still Adobe Caslon Pro. You can use whatever font you like, but I just prefer that. We go 20 points. We go paragraph. Let's say 18 point space afterwards. It's centered. And let's make it bold. There we go. And let's create our next text style. And that'll be paragraph style. And it's table of contents. Just say T, small o, and C. You must make it different. All right. And there we go. Table of contents. Now, just click enter and say no. You select no style and say this is an entry. Let's just say this is an entry. All right. And we press tab and we say page 4. All right. All right. So what we do is we select it and we say we want it Adobe Caslon Pro. There you go. We want to keep it regular. And yeah, it'll be regular. It starts on the left. It's aligned with the top. That's good. Paragraph, we don't want any spacing afterwards. We could make 2 points afterwards. That'll be fine. 2 points between this entry and the next one. And we are ready to go now with this one. All right, so we make textiles and we say table of contents entry. There it is. Click OK. All right, take that out. So now we have table of contents and we have table of contents entry. This thing is called table of contents. All right, that's actually, we should rename that table of contents heading. Sorry about that, folks. Let's just rename it table of contents heading. There it is. Heading, table of contents heading. That's it. Okay, we keep it there. Press return. Click on no style. Now we go up to our table of contents tab, which is on the left here. You select it. Now we're going to create one. Insert table of contents. But it's all weird and it's all wrong. But that's fine. It's table of contents 1. And it will be, the scope of it is going to be the whole document. We're going to look in all text frames. We're going to include, we're not going to include PDF bookmarks because this is a book for print. The style for the table of contents is table of contents 1. We're going to be removing line breaks and not this including inner pins and all this stuff. We're only going with heading 1. We're not going with heading 2. Only heading 1. Notice we have four chapters. All right, so that's it. Heading 1 and so forth. Now we are going with that all selected still. You'll notice we have all these different thingies going on. Now, what we've got to do is click on Table of Contents Entry. That's our one. And we're going to select it, and we're going to edit the entry. There it is. And we're going to go down to Tab Stops. And there's a tab stop. And we're going to select tab stop header, leader or leader character is a 0, or is a little, not a 0, I'm sorry, it's a full stop. I think that's what they call it. And we'll say OK. You'll notice it puts those little dots in. You see that? Table of Contents Entry, Edit, and you see how it's set up under tab stops. See that? It's all there like that. It's all been done. There it is. There is your table of contents with the numbers and the little dots going all the way to the end. See, now you have a template. And we shall say File, Save, and then we go File again, and it will be Export as Template. There we go, export it as template. Find out on your, where you store all your stuff. I go to My Documents, and I've got a special folder called A5 Book Inner Templates. And I will rename this one A5 Book Inner. We can go and call that 1. I don't think I have a number 1 there. And you just say save. All right. Now close off this document. Close it off. Say File New, just to see how your template is and where it is. So you've clicked on File New. You come down to Templates. Affinity Publisher A5 Book Cover. That's covers. Nope. We want Book Inner. Now we just hover over it. That's there's one. No, that wasn't the one we made. There's A5 Book Inner 1. That's ours. You select it, say Create, and you will notice we now have a template for our next book project, which we just created. And all you do is fill in the text and the chapter stuff and all that kind of stuff in there. Import your text in and apply your styles and all that kind of stuff, and it'll all work out. And then, but this is your template. This is what you work from. All right. And thank you for watching. Really, really good.